driving and getting in and out, that's another big question. So, you know, we'll go right over that. And I do want to touch point on the coilovers. So I've had those for 2-3 weeks now. I don't think I've hit a month yet. Have I hit a month? Almost a month. You know, we could say 3 weeks to 4 weeks. But yeah, I want to touch point on that, but I'll get into that later in the video. Let's focus on the carbon buckets for now. So for those that are new to the channel, this is a 23 BMW G80 M3. Yeah, honestly, all in all, overall, do I love them? Do I hate them? How do I feel? You know, I know a lot of people tend to say whenever I speak good about them, I'm lying, but honestly, I love them. I think they're great. If I ever were to purchase another G80 M3, you know, if I got rid of this and got another one, I definitely would spec them out. There are an additional option for anybody new. I think it's at least 23. I think it was like a $4,500 upgrade. I think on previous years it was a little bit less than that, and they raised it, of course. I don't know, whatever reason. Probably some supply issue, you know, whatever reasons these manufacturers use. But anyway, I think they're definitely worth it. I think on a car like this, the carbon buckets are the way to go. They hold you in your seat pretty well. I think they look phenomenal. I think that's the best part about them is I just had to for you guys. We just had to. But as you can see, even when I do little pulls, it does throw me back. Obviously the G80 M3, I mean, the pulls, I mean, this is not only a carbon bucket feature, but any G80 M3, it pulls you back because of how quick it is. I mean, these cars are rockets, especially once they're tuned, but with the carbon buckets, they hold you in place, and that obviously takes place both if you're taking on and off ramps, tunnels, turns, and so forth. And, you know, obviously with coilovers, you know, you take turns a little bit faster, you know, even when you hit the track. I just feel like the carbon buckets are the way to go. And on a car like this, I mean, okay, some people daily them, so they'll buy, you know, the non-carbon buckets, just the standard leather seats, and they think it's comfier, you know, for long drives. And, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and say they're not comfier. Obviously, they're far more comfortable than the carbon bucket seats. But all in all, me personally, I don't mind them. I think they're great. You know, like I said, if I had a choice again, I would get them again. I think they're great seats. They look amazing. They hold you nice and snug. You know, once I pull over, I'm going to give you guys like a full overview of what they look like. But, you know, the bolsters and everything kind of holds you in place. Obviously, you can adjust the sides on the upper portion of the seat, but I think they're great seats. So obviously, most of that are pros. If we want to talk about any cons for the carbon bucket seats, I'd say most people will agree. Let's get this little Chevy Impala to get away from us. The other thing with the G80 M3, not to go off topic, everybody wants to become a race car driver. Like, what is that? 2002. Everybody wants to become a race car driver once you're in the G80 M3. It's the most annoying thing ever. Ask any G80 M3 owner. It's so annoying. But anyway, as far as cons, if you want to ask me cons to the carbon bucket seats, really the only thing I could say is getting in and out of them. You know, getting in and out of them, yeah, sure, it could be a little inconvenient. It's a little bit of a pain. Me personally, I've gotten used to it. It's pretty natural for me. I just get in and out, and I don't even think about it. Other friends who, you know, even other G80 M3 friends who don't have carbon bucket seats, you know, they'll forget that I have bucket seats when they get in here. They want to move my car, like drive it or try it out or something. They forget I got buckets, so obviously they get in, you know, or even passengers, you know, whether it's family or friends or anybody who gets in the car, sometimes they forget I got carbon bucket seats. They'll jump in and, you know, they'll hit their leg, hit their thigh, and obviously it hurts. So, you know, let's not brush over that fact. I don't think that's a bash on the carbon bucket seats. I think that's just a personal preference. I think it's just people not paying attention. And, you know, as far as getting in and out of them, yeah, a lot of people hate that. A lot of people think that's the worst part. And if there's any cons, I would say that's the only thing I can think of. Another thing, I've driven this car, you know, I've driven it for several hours at a time, various car meets, driving to friends' houses, driving to various places here in Jersey, Pennsylvania, and so forth. I've actually driven it 10, 11 hours south to South Carolina and back in the carbon bucket seats in the G80 M3. I wasn't on coilovers back then, I was on springs, so that's another thing. But I loved it. I really didn't have any issues, long drives. You know, like obviously you can't move around. They're not as comfortable. They're holding you in place, which, you know, that's the thing with the carbon bucket seats. They hold you in place. So for the whole car ride, I was really held in place. Obviously we pulled over, we stretched, you know, stood around and walked around a little bit, but I loved it. I have no issues with it. I do plan on actually taking the car over to out west, probably somewhere like Colorado or something, and that's going to be a drive from here in New Jersey all the way out there. I think it's like a day and 8 hours, or give or take 1,800 miles, and I'm going to do that drive in this car. So expect that in the next few months. Anybody who's like eager to know more feedback or just overall, I'm going to be driving this car with carbon bucket seats, all my coilovers, out to Colorado, you know, out west, and I'll probably ship it back. So, but either way, there'll be a lot of feedback for that. As far as this like view with like you guys kind of seeing the carbon bucket seats, I did rewatch my previous video, 6 months review of the carbon bucket seats, which is a few videos back if you want to check that out on the channel. I did rewatch that, and you know, I think the carbon bucket seats do look cool from this view. So if you guys really like this view versus like the POV, you know, obviously I try to alternate. I know the POV is really cool because you get to see the dash and the cluster and everything, but you know what? Let's take this ramp just for you guys. Show you guys the buckets from the front, and then I'll put a clip up from the rear. Obviously I'm on coilovers, so most people wouldn't be going this fast on a ramp. Wow! You cannot do that on springs. No, you cannot. That was nice, but you could kind of see how the seats hold me in place. Like obviously there's like a little bit of movement. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna exaggerate or, you know, make that up, but there is a little bit of movement still in the carbon bucket seats. But obviously if I was in the normal standard leather seats, you know, I'd be sliding around a lot more on that turn. That was a pretty sharp turn. But yeah, let me know if you guys do enjoy this view. I will make sure I get more footage with views like this, because I mean, you know, I rewatched the video, and the carbon bucket seats, I love them. I think they look sick, you know, whether it's from the front or even the rear shots that you guys have been seeing of the carbon bucket seats. And yeah, I'll include that a lot more. Obviously on my drive to Colorado, I'll be including that for sure. Alright guys, let's take a look at the carbon bucket seats after a year. Yes, I am wearing a different outfit. It was really windy the other day when I shot this video, and I was just not content with the footage, so here we are. But it's a lot calmer today, so I think it should be way better. But we'll get to the suspension in a minute. Let me just go over the buckets real quick. I know I talked about it for a little bit while driving, but just want to show you guys before we kind of move on from the topic. So here's my seat after a year and like 2 months of driving it. I am at 11,000 miles, just over 11,000 miles. You can see like the back is pretty perfect. No creasing, no issues. I feel like the back really is stitched pretty well, like it's not going anywhere. It's really the bottom of the seats that, even with other M3 owners, I've seen it creases up a little bit. So you can see with me, there's like a little bit of creasing here in the middle. Other than that, it's really just the leather, you know, a little bit of like a stretch look here and there. You could see like a little bit of scuffing here. I never added the protectors here like most people do. Mainly I wanted to see how it would hold up, and obviously content for you guys to kind of, anybody who's curious about these seats. But really just here creasing. Outside of that, I think the back looks pretty new. Show you the back. Well, the actual back of the seat. So for reference, the back, the carbon portion of this, I've never PPF'd it, never ceramiced it, never done anything. I think this is all just dust. Yeah, but you could see they're honestly in mint condition. I really don't ever have anybody in the back seats. Like maybe once or twice I've had people here, but other than that, just quick wipe downs here and there. Just, you know,
dust, wipe down dust. But besides that, I think they held up pretty well. For reference, I'm about 6'1". Not height doesn't really matter, but I'm about probably a little under 250 now. I think I was, you know, probably like 40 pounds heavier when I bought the car, and so, you know, maybe that creasing will be a little less for lighter guys. You know, I guess for the bigger guys, that's how it is. But let's take a look at the passenger seat. I don't, again, this is not a daily driver. Although I have 11,000 miles after a year, it's not a daily driver for me. But, you know, just for reference, you know, gauge it. More mileage, I would imagine, would be a little bit more creasing. But this actually, wow, okay, I never realized this side actually looks pretty brand new. There's like absolutely no creasing. I mean, I've had people in the car numerous times, but mostly it's just me driving. I'm going out for a long drive, I'm cruising with my friends. Usually don't have passengers, but yeah, the passenger seat's pretty perfect. So you could see, I mean, I've had people here and there, but this side's perfect. Absolutely no creasing on the bottom. And the back of the front portion of the seat also looks spectacular. And mind you, these are power. The back does adjust, the side, the bottom portion adjusts, the bolsters up here adjust as well. These don't move. This is kind of stuck in place, but I didn't really know they were powered until, you know, one of my friends got a G80 M3, Mr. Sundeep M3. Make sure you check out his channel. He got an M3. That's when I found out these were powered. And then myself, you know, obviously, that's when I learned they were powered. But yeah, this does light up too, which is pretty cool. I won't go into too much detail. I think 23, it's an added option. I think it's like 4,500, and it was a little bit less in previous years, like 22 and 21. But I do have a previous video, 6-month review. I'll try to link that in the video, but that has a lot more information if you want to look into that. But here's the back. Probably my favorite part of the seats, probably one of my favorite parts of the M3, honestly, spec wise. It's really the carbon bugs and the lasers. Those are, like, I'd say my favorite. Obviously the motor is awesome, but that's for another video. But I think they held up pretty well. And, you know, I already did all the talking about how I feel about them. Overall, I love them. I would buy them again. If I got another M3, I would totally spec these again. Definitely one of my top favorite specs, that. And obviously these lasers, which that's for another video. But look at the blue with the purple, it's just sick. Okay, so enough on the carbon bucket seats. Let's move on to the suspension. So I've had that for 3 weeks, probably going on 4 weeks. Maybe it's been a month, I mean, give or take. This is how it's sitting. I would say it's pretty settled. We could probably go, I mean, obviously we can go down a lot more. There's a lot more room to go on the coilovers themselves. Gap wise, we could probably go a tiny bit more, but obviously all my friends keep telling me don't. You know, the roads are terrible here. I live in New Jersey, you know, Jersey, Philadelphia, New York. Not that I drive it up there, but our roads are horrible. It's always potholes, it's always like cracked up roads, bumps, everything. Like I already do, there's like a tiny bit of a rub, in the rear, but there's really nothing there. I took the wheels off and it's not really hitting anything. It's fine. It's very rare. And mind you, I did swap these out from 15mm spacers to 18s, so I'm still running 15s in the rear, 18s in the front. I think the fitment's far better 18-15, especially with the coilovers. Again, they can go a lot lower, but for now, until I get wheels, this is temporary. Fitment wise, I wouldn't mind them poking out a little bit more, but again, I'm not here to like stance out the stock rims. These are just temporary till I get the wheels. Here's the other side. As far as the ride, they ride amazing. I haven't adjusted it. I know I told you guys I bumped it up from 11 clicks of stiffness down to 6 to make it way stiffer. 0 is the stiffest, 20 is the softest, and I love it that way. I mean, I might adjust it, maybe try like 7 or 8 clicks, maybe try 5 clicks just for the hell of it, but I don't know. I think for now it's great. It rides amazing. All my friends saw it. My other M3 friends saw it. They loved it. Not many people have Olin coilovers. Like I know somebody around here does. Jackie at J King's Auto, he installed it on a rear wheel drive G80. He hasn't, this was the first X drive he's done, and I haven't really seen much X drive. I know there's a couple of CS's online that had it. They had to add like helper springs or something on the front, but I haven't done that because, you know, we kind of have the spring a little tightened and whatnot. So but yeah, so far I do love it. There's a lot more room to go lower if I want to. Obviously, we're gonna wait for wheels. Once the wheels are on, we'll get it fitted. Stay tuned for that. And I guess one thing while we're at it, you know, if anybody's new to the channel, curious what you guys think. If you are new, welcome. So I added this carbon cover to go with my titanium. Curious what you guys think. Shoot it in the comments, let me know. Most people paint this and paint this portion. I want it to be a little bit different, so I got the carbon cover to kind of go with the titanium. I may get the carbon part of this. I don't think I'm gonna go all out and change all the bolts and stuff. I don't want to go too crazy. I want to keep it a little simple and clean. Let me know what you guys think. Unit 17, killing it, always hooking me up. Make sure you check them out. Based here out of New Jersey, at least the Jersey side. They have a UK shop, but this is a US side that supports me and hooks me up, so definitely check them out. See if I close the hood one shot. Yes. Such a pain sometimes. Oh, it got wet. I just washed it, kind of detailed it, so see the Techno Violet looking spectacular as always. But yeah, so that's the suspension. You can kind of see the gold. I don't know if you can see it from this angle. Yeah, the gold coilovers are pretty sick in my opinion. But yeah, here's the buckets. One last run at the buckets. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any feedback. Oh, I guess real quick, let me show you guys getting in and out of them. I know that's a huge question, so let me try to do this as best as possible. I'm gonna go really slow. I don't go this slow, obviously I'm in and out usually because it's natural to me, but I'm gonna go slow POV style just for you guys. So typically I put one leg in, hand on the steering wheel, boom. Again, I go in much faster usually. I went slow just for you guys, but this doesn't bother me. Again, I'm a slightly bigger guy, you know, got to keep up with them squats, guys, but I guess lighter guys it's a little bit easier. But you could see I have no issues personally. You can see as far as my feet, if it's 6-speed, obviously I got bigger shoes on now. I probably wouldn't have these shoes if I was doing 6-speed, but you could see like it's not, I have no issues. It's pretty natural. And then as far as getting out, same thing really. Hand on steering wheel like this, other hand. It's a pain, I know. I would say that's the biggest con. Me personally, I got used to it. It's not a daily driver, so I don't really care, but most people do hate that, especially if you're dealing with, some people prefer the full comfortable leather seats. To each their own, but you know, I just wanted to go over it, and a lot of people keep requesting that. So and I guess one final thing about the bucket seats, I did drive it down to South Carolina. You can see a few videos back. I'll see if I could link it up here, but I drove it down to South Carolina, which is about 10-11 hours here from New Jersey, there and back. So it was 2 trips. I did stop in between a little bit, but I had no issues. It was honestly great to me. I loved it. I bought the car for that reason. I wanted that spec, but you know, like we got out, we stretched, we walked around a little bit, and besides that, I thought it was great. No issues. Definitely check that out if you're curious. It's about, is it 1,000 miles? I think it's a little bit under 1,000 miles. I forget, from New Jersey down to South Carolina and back. But I had no issues. On top of that, I do plan on driving this probably like Colorado or something out west, probably in the summertime. So from New Jersey to Colorado, it's about a day and 8 hours. I think it's about 1,800 miles one way. I'm probably gonna ship it back, but I will be driving it out to Colorado. I maybe will do one stop in between. I will film that entire thing. I might make it like a little 2-day episode series, so definitely stay tuned for that if you're curious, if you want to see how this thing holds up, if you want to see how the suspension holds up. Even if I do get wheels, I'll probably take the wheels off and throw the stocks back on. Probably leave it at this height. Most people think I should raise it, but I probably would leave it at this height with the stock wheels, and I will drive with the carbon bucket seats. So definitely stay tuned for that if you guys are interested. If you're curious, I will be doing that for sure. I think that'll be fun. There'll be a lot of sick content. This with like the mountains in the rear, I got a lot of good ideas with some drone footage, so definitely stay tuned. I think that would be a better test. Like South Carolina was cool, 10 hours. I think a lot of people really like that, because I don't really think much people really drive, or at least have content out there with the carbon bucket seats driving for that long, like 10 hours. And then driving it out west for over a day in carbon bucket seats, pretty low on coilovers. I think that's a solid feedback, little review for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up in the next probably 3 months. But if you guys have any questions about the carbon bucket seats, coilovers, let me know. I'll keep you guys posted. I will be obviously providing a lot more feedback on the coilovers as time goes, especially when I get wheels and, you know, after having them for a few months and so forth. So, you know, they are the Olin coilovers, by the way, in case you didn't already know that. One of our buddies actually, his Instagram is HLM Power. Definitely check him out. He has an E92 on Olin coilovers. He's had them for over like 10 years, I think. Was it over 10 years? I think he had them for over 10 years. Absolutely zero issues. Originals. Never did anything to them. He has V4 coilovers on his G80 M3. Two sick cars. Definitely check him out. But he obviously strongly recommended them. He's a huge fan. He thinks they look great. He thinks they came out amazing. And yeah, he told me he's had them for 10 years and no issues. So high hopes for the X-Drive on the G80 M3. So we'll see. But if you guys have any other questions, definitely let me know. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Actually, a little quick bonus for you guys. See, I got in a lot faster. Natural, baby. So I don't actually have my car keys on me. This is all I got, so we're gonna make it work. In case you're new, I do have a video about this. This is an NFC here in the wireless charger. Whoa, magic. No keys. There's literally nothing in my pocket. Nothing here. Just the phone, CarPlay, we're good. See, I actually just switched it because I have the M digital card programmed to my profile. It took me a few months to figure that out. I got the key, obviously the primary key, but my phone kept going to a guest profile. So like the heads up display would be low. This will be different. The settings, the seat, steering wheel was really annoying, but I realized you just go in here and you just check it off. It's pretty cool. Let me know if you need more info on that.